All right, welcome back. Now, almost 8 months of the marathon court trial, South African Olympian Oscar Pistorius was sentenced to 5 years in prison for killing his girlfriend, Reeva Steenkamp, on the 14th of February in 2013. The trial captured the public's attention and had an overwhelming worldwide media coverage, with millions of viewers watching the live court broadcast. Well, to talk more about the media coverage and research trends of the Oscar Pistorius case, we are joined in the studio by Ludine Brown. She's a researcher from Media Tenor. Good to have you.
Thank you.
Welcome to the program. Well, I suppose one could say that this has arguably been the biggest and most popular court case that South Africa has ever had. Is that what your research has shown?
Yes, Media Tenor's research has shown us that internationally, leading up to the sentencing, the coverage on Oscar Pistorius increased to 10%.
Yeah.
And whereas before it was quite low, however, as the court started progressing and the facts started unfolding, global TV media's coverage basically increased.
Yeah. So did we see throughout the trial moments of interest and then the interest waning and then coming back and waning, or was it there the whole time?
Well, there was definitely moments of interest where it waned down, and that was due to, the break I think they had in the court proceedings. However, as they started the court proceedings was back on track, you saw an interest in the trial.
What were some of the interesting media coverage trends that dominated the trial?
Well, I think one of the interesting things that, stood out for me was the fact that in the beginning, global media was quite impartial towards Barry Rue, Harry Now, and Oscar in particular. But as, the court proceedings started and the facts started unfolding, global TV coverage became more opinionated. And I mean, compared to local TV media, they were opinionated from the start, where Harry Now had he had some negative, tonality towards him, and Barry Rue was positioned more positively in the beginning. So it will be interesting to see going forward how media, portrays Judge Masipa's, verdict. Yeah.
All right. So let's kind of have a look at the public's reaction. Since the beginning of the trial, you spoke about the Rue and the Nell. What about the support for Oscar Pistorius and Reeva Steenkamp's family? Did we see a bias between that?
Interesting enough, Oscar actually generated some positivity, and that was his fans coming out, and supporting him. And compared to, we did a comparison with Shireen Devani, whose trial isn't gaining that much prominence in the local media. So he's been quite negatively positioned.
All right. Now, I mean, we heard it in the court. We see it every day because this is unprecedented. And we'll talk about this live coverage shortly in my next question. But a lot of people have been saying that Oscar has been tried by local and international media, from the beginning, from the first day that he appeared in court. What does your research show? Well,
our research does confirm that, from the get-go, that the local media regarded Oscar as guilty. However, as the court proceedings started taking place and the true story came out, media tend to draw back from that initial, reaction that they had at the beginning.
Yeah. Let's talk about the broadcasting of this. I mean, this was unprecedented. Again, a world first that cameras were rolling constantly throughout the case, and we heard every witness. We may not have seen their faces, but we heard what was said. We followed every word, and we got an inside glimpse into our courtrooms. Is this the way forward for court cases now? And what did this do for our justice system?
Well, I think in terms of South Africa, it's definitely put some negative sentiment on our justice system in particular. And the conditions of our prisons was one of the main factors that popped up. So it will be interesting to see going forward how the global media actually views SA's justice system. The trial has been the main prominence on the global platform. SA did not generate any other coverage aside from Oscar Pistorius. So there's definitely this negative perception, around South Africa that's mainly the cause by Oscar.
Yeah. So in a nutshell, as much as we've been following this Oscar Pistorius trial and what the Steenkamps have been going through, this has had a negative impact on our country.
Yes, and I mean, it will be interesting to see where the government can actually, try to adopt a more positive sentiment.
Yeah.
So that will be interesting to see.
All right. Thank you for talking to us.
Thank you.
That's the media trends when we look at how the media have been covering the Oscar Pistorius trial. Not social media. That's another issue. That's something else we need to talk about, because that certainly has been unprecedented in social media terms. I don't think there's been a case that's literally have been covered tweet by tweet, word for word out of a courtroom the way this has been. But this is focusing in on the print and broadcast journalism, and Ludine Brown, the researcher from Media Tenor, was uncovering that for us. Thank you very, very much for being our guest here.